Hello friends, welcome back to the James Lawrence Allcott channel. It's time for the... I can do it better than this. Yep, that was me. Welcome back to the Ripple Effect. This is where we just speculate, really, but we also utilise real news. And the real news is that Scamacca is on his way to West Ham. And I'm going to concentrate on Scamacca, his role at West Ham. This is a big signing for West Ham. Huge signing. I mean, not just the fact that the guy is 6'4.5", knowledge. But this guy could really take West Ham to the next level, helps with their depth. We'll talk about all of that stuff. But also, what does that mean for someone like Broja, who was linked with West Ham, of course, as well, from Chelsea, and the Rebels? They're affected from that as well, okay? So if you are new to the channel and you like the ripple effect in your life, then hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We're getting very close to 200k now, and there's not many spaces left, so hurry up, okay? First and foremost, this will be a lot of speculation in this. So it's questions, so let me know how you feel about it. I'll give my opinion. That will be that. Let's start off with Scamacca. Scamacca comes into this West Ham side, and they were looking at Broja and Scamacca. Some people were saying they were going to try and get both, which should have been naughty. But it looks like Scamacca was the one that they wanted all along. And what a player this guy is. The money, it's worth it. 30.5 million with 5 million on add-ons. I think it's how many? 43 million euros, 10% sell-on clause as well for him. He scored 16 goals last season. Let's have a look at his stats first. So 16 goals, 15 of which were non-penalty goals from a total XG of 10.8, 10 flat when it comes to non-penalty XG. And as I said, the guy's nearly 6'5", so it showed that he's... What I really like about these stats is this: he's in the top 3% when you minus the XG from the goals. So in terms of being clinical, he's a really clinical finisher, and for a 6'4" guy, that's pretty impressive. Didn't register an assist, but did create 3 big chances. I think the reason for that is because he does a lot of his work outside of the box on the way there, if you know what I mean. And I'll show you his heat map in a second, which will highlight that. But it was averaging only 25 touches per game, which again highlights that. But the pass completion was 74%. So I think he can be utilised more, be a backboard. But I think the point of him at times was to get in the box and you know, to wreak havoc there. The thing I like about him as well is that what you can guarantee with Scamacca is got a guy who will provide at least one goal of the month contender, because he's got this big guy, loves a shot from outside the box, and because he is that backboard, he starts there and then makes his way into the penalty area. Now the guy is not a slouch. Not at all. I wouldn't say his main thing is pace. And again, 6'4", he's a big guy. You've got to lug a lot around there. But he's got a great touch for a big lad. And I just think he's really impressive for West Ham to get their hands on him. You know, when you look at these numbers, when you see the green, it's in the top 5 leagues. So in terms of shots on target, really solid. Do you know what I mean? Shots on target percentage in the top 14% in the top 5 leagues. This is really good stuff. Let's have a look at his heat map. So the reason I wanted to show you his heat map is to kind of identify how he might set up with West Ham. And I really tried to find this tweet and I couldn't find it anywhere. So the person who I'm talking about, you know who you are. You found a clip of me talking about QPR about a season ago. And you were saying, would this work with Scamacca in the West Ham side? And basically you were saying 3-5-2 maybe for West Ham could be the route forward. I think that could be a possibility, but I think they could stick with what they've got as well. The big question will be, do they want Antonio to start alongside Scamacca? Maybe, because I think with Antonio, he does 2 jobs and he works the channels so well. So to have both of those up top, and to have Souček and Declan Rice and play a back 3 where you've got 3 massive centre-backs, that's pretty frightening. I've got to be honest. On set pieces, West Ham could be absolutely outrageous this season. If you can get all those players in the side, it gets you past these games when you're struggling to break teams down, and it could really help West Ham and lighten the load on Antonio, who seemed jaded as the season progressed. The reason I want to show you this heat map is you can see the sort of hot spots here in the centre circle, here as that backboard as I was talking about, and then getting into the penalty box. Those are the three key areas. And I think if you think of the other players that will want to get involved, the likes of Ben Rama, the likes of Fornals, the likes of Lanzini, is he's still there? I'm not sure. If he's not, I apologise. But most importantly, Jared Bowen on this right-hand side, you know, take that heat map, put that into his heat map for West Ham, and you get why it works. So to get a guy who's 23, the one thing I will say, and Liverpool fans will be screaming at me here, is go, well, hang on, he's only had one good season for Sassuolo. Look, he's been playing through the Italian ranks for a long time. People have been waiting for him to really arrive for quite some time. So he does have a pedigree there. And I think you're right. It's fair to say that, like Darwin Núñez, and I'm talking about him having one good season, now coming to the Premier League and he's going to tear it up with Scamacca. I think the same things to be said, and it might take time. But, you know, this is a guy that we on this channel were saying Arsenal need to go and buy this player. So in terms of West Ham, where they want to go, I think this is a really, really strong signing for them. So questions now. This is where we get into the speculation bit, which is just bloody good fun, isn't it? So first of all, Antonio, how does this affect him? Is this something where he would want to move on? I don't think so, but I'd be intrigued to know what you guys would think, because certainly Scamacca would start because, you know, he is the future, and I love Antonio, but I think Scamacca should be next level, and as a finisher is maybe next level as well. But I mean, the two of them up top would just be absolute nightmare, I've got to be honest. Next question is, what does this mean about Broja? Now, Chelsea were kind of sort of umming and ahhing if they wanted to let him go. He would have gone for about 30 million, and I think would still go for 30 million. So who would take him, right? That's the next page. The next page is, for me, Everton and Newcastle United. I think those are the two teams that seem to want Broja. Everton can't afford him, my opinion, and if I'm wrong on that, Everton fans, let me know. But Everton would love someone like Broja in their side. I think he would be a great fit for Newcastle, and I think he's got the money, and Chelsea are willing to sell Broja. So if he goes and he plays as a classic number 9 for Newcastle, I think he's a great option in a 4-3-3 if they want to play that. Also, if he wants to partner Callum Wilson up top, of course, he's done that for Southampton. So you're buying a really good player. And when we talk about the profile of what Newcastle were looking at these days, like a Sven Botman, young player who can grow and develop with the club as the club gets bigger and more impressive in terms of the quality of its squad. Broja at Newcastle seems like a really strong fit for me, and one where there's an integrity to it. Do you know what I mean? So what does this mean then for Everton? What does this mean for Chelsea? And what does this mean for the other strikers? Callum Wilson, I think, stays, but Callum Wilson is injury prone, so you need that depth there. Chris Wood is the one that's glaring for me. There's no source for this. This is just me thinking, where on earth would Chris Wood go? This is where I come back to Everton, and I wonder if, okay, he's not perfect for you, but in terms of someone who's effective, I guess it will come down to what Lampard wants to do. Does he want to stay direct like he was last season, get the ball in the box, do someone who can win those headers like Calvert-Lewin? And if you're concerned about Calvert-Lewin's injury proneness, then someone like Chris Wood is a great player who can come in, Premier League proven. I mean, again, his stock seemed to drop at Newcastle because he was getting those chances and not taking them. I know Geordie was fed up with him by the end of it. But I think, look, he is a Premier League proven player. And for a beggars can't be choosers scenario that Everton have at this moment in time, there could be a deal that could be done there. I would imagine it would be one that wouldn't be done in August. It would be one that would be done in January, where Chris Wood's had 6 months, can't get himself a game, and he now wants to move on. He's taken his lovely signing on bonus, I'd imagine, and he moves on into the sunset. But Everton would be an option there, be it in January if they're struggling, or even right now, because I think they still need strikers, and that might be the route that Lampard wants to go this year. The final question, of course, is Chelsea. What did Chelsea do? If they sell Broja, they've got Kai Havertz and no other strikers, really. And in terms of like a classic number 9, they don't really have that either. And this is where we come back to Ronaldo. And I know I can imagine Tuchel going, no, I don't want it. But again, it might get to that point where you've run out of number 9s that are out there in the market right now. And yeah, you scrub away the fact that he's 37. He's a guy who scores goals. Can you deal with the spotlight that comes with him? I mean, I think Chelsea could deal with that. And here's the final thing I would say in terms of Ronaldo going to Chelsea. Chelsea have struggled time and time again with high-profile strikers coming through the door and not being able to deal with that. you know, not being able to thrive in that environment. You don't have to worry about that with. And so I think there are merits to Ronaldo going to a Chelsea when you've got so much quality and energy around it. It could be something that could work very, very well, especially for a player who doesn't want to get involved in the hold-up play too much and could then allow Mason Mount to go and do that, Raheem Sterling with narrow forwards, and then like the likes of Reece James with those crosses or Chilwell with those crosses. For someone like Ronaldo, there's goals to be had there. Now, you guys might disagree, and I'd love to know what you think in the comments below. This is all speculation, but this is the ripple effect. And with the ripple effect, things happen. And so Scamacca going to West Ham will lead to a ripple effect. Am I right in some of the moves that I'm making? Am I wrong? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell as well. And I'll see you next time. Want to see the video again, don't you? Go on then.